Okay, in the case that I'm in need. Whereas the RSCV thing, I give RSCV money, in return they will give me a service, not money. You see the two things different? Right? It's a money for a service, whereas in the other case, in the haram case, it's money for money. If the health insurance company had its own hospitals, had its own hospitals, such that, for example, if you got sick, you just go to its hospital, which is actually owned by the health insurance company, then it becomes halal. But if it does have its own banks or own hospitals, right, then it is halal then. Why? Because it is not giving you back money in return so that you can pay for the hospital that you got your treatment at. No. But it's giving you back a service. Do you understand that? In the same way, what happens in Muslim countries, like for example Egypt and Jordan, is that the people go to the doctors and they give the doctor a lump sum amount of money, let's say 1,000 riyals, and they say, hey doc, whenever I become sick, you're gonna treat me. And the doctor agrees with the contract that you pay me 1,000 riyals a year. So whenever you get sick, the doctor treats him. This is halal because it's money for a service. Okay, alhamdulillah, we are at the end of our session. Alhamdulillah, I've taken a lot of time. The first question is, if the haram we commit every day is out of ignorance, then is it written down as a sin? A good point. We had talked about this yesterday. Ignorance. When someone is ignorant, if you're ignorant and you have an excuse for being ignorant, and I'll talk about the excuses for being ignorant. If you have an excuse for being ignorant, then no, it is not a sin upon you, and basically you're not a sinner. However, if you don't have an excuse for an ignorance, then it is a sin upon you. It is a sin upon you, and you'll be punished for it if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so wills. The excuses for ignorance are numerous. First of all, if you are new to Islam. Second of all, if you lived away from the Muslims. If you live in a place that is away from the Muslims. Third of all, if you wanted to find out the answer but you could not find out the answer because, for example, you don't have access to ulama, you don't have access to books, you don't have access to means of really asking people. Question from the brothers?
Are we allowed to inherit something that's been bought by interest? For example, if my father's bought a house with a mortgage and he passed away, are we allowed to inherit that property?
Yes, it's permissible for you to inherit from the haram money that your father has earned. The haram property that your father has earned, whether it be a property, it be a house that he's taken on interest, whether it be alcohol money, whether it be etc., stolen money, etc. If it is haram money that he has earned, whether it be, for example, he had an account in the bank on which he's been earning interest, thereafter he dies and passes away, then it is permissible for you to inherit from that money. Why? Because اختلاف اليد يختلف به الحكم. This is one qaida in fiqh. The qaida says that when the ownership changes of a property changes, then the hukum changes. So it is haram for him, but halal for you. Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you the proof before you hurry up. Okay, the proof is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obviously he was a Nabi, and because he was a Nabi, it is not permissible for him to eat from zakat. Okay, it's not permissible for him to also eat from charity. Zakat is not charity. In general, it's not permissible to eat anything that's charity. It's permissible for him to eat from that which is sadaqah, that which is hadiyah, which is a gift. So if Rasulullah was there and I gave him charity, that would not be halal for him to take it. But if it was a gift, then it would be halal for him to take it, right? Okay. So what happened once was that Rasulullah had a slave called Barira. Okay, Barira was a slave of Rasulullah. And Barira was given some money. Was given some dates by someone. And so Rasulullah came into the house and he found the dates. And he took one when he was about to eat it. And thereafter, Aisha radiallahu anha told him that هذا صدقة, that this is sadaqah. And what she meant was, of course, this was sadaqah that was given to Barira, that was given to the slave. This was charity that was given to the slave. And so Rasulullah said, إنها له صدقة ولنا هدية. It is for him sadaqah, but for us hadiyah, for us gift. Why? Because Barira had given to Rasulullah as a gift, right? So it is therefore the same thing, but because the yad has changed, so the hukum has also changed. So here for your father it was haram, but for you it's halal.
And the other one was if, for example, working in a bank obviously makes much interest there.
Okay, the other question the brother had was working for banks. Brother, you're not allowed to even clean the floor for the banks. You're not allowed to fix the lights for the banks. You're not allowed to clean the screens for the banks. You're not allowed to type in the banks. You're not allowed to do any sort of work for any ribah institution. Okay, as long as the main purpose of that institution is haram, then you're not allowed to work for it. Let me give you an example. If you're working for a hotel, for example, hotel has haram stuff there, isn't it? However, it's permissible to work for a hotel because its main business is halal, which is to provide rental accommodation facilities. It has other haram stuff, such for example, it has a bar, it has discos, etc., etc. There's haram stuff in there. But is it halal for you to work for it? Yes, as long as, of course, you're working in the halal area of it, not the haram area of it. Okay? Why are we saying it's halal for you to work for it? Because majority of it is halal, and its main business is halal. Whereas a bank, its main business is haram. So therefore banks, insurance companies, financial institutions, a large number of financial institutions, alcohol companies deal with alcohol, companies that deal with pork, etc., dirty magazines, etc., dirty stuff. All of this is not permissible to work for them at all. Okay, question from sisters before they get angry. Okay, it says, what is the difference between interest and usury? Interest is a term set up with the kuffar, saying that it is in your interest, oh my so-and-so client, to take this money. Subhanallah, see how they make the shaitani terms into nice, use flowery terms to talk about their filth. A'udhu billah. It should be called usury. This is what it is. It is not interest, it is usury. Of course, it's the same thing, but it should be called usury, and it should be called ribah. And the ribah and usury are disgusting terms, dirty terms, and this is fit for that money, that it is really usury and ribah and not interest. Okay, the brother is asking that in the part exchange, is it a part exchange for a car? You trade in your old car for new. Would that be permissible or not? The answer is it's permissible because it's actually one contract.